Welcome to the Adaptable Octopus, where we share stories of change, resilience, and how we learn to adapt. I'm your host, Blair Riggs. Welcome to another episode of the Adaptable Octopus. With me, I have someone that came into my life as a teacher and left out as a lighthouse, a dot on the map, a place where I can go to no matter what. My friend, my former teacher, Catrina Wright.
Hi, Blair. Thank you so much for having me. I can't tell you how much it means to me to be with you today. You said that I have changed your life. Well, you changed mine too. It's so amazing to see the person that you are today. When I had you all those years ago in class, I knew that you would be great, but I never imagined this. And so I am so proud of you. Congratulations on the show and congratulations on doing life the way you're meant to do it.
Thank you so much. What made you, or what led you to get your degree in counseling? I mean, what what led you to pursue a job in education?
It's so funny that you mentioned counseling because initially that is what I thought that I would do. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology and I thought that I would love to be a counselor. Well, as so many people know in life, we are influenced by our surroundings and by people we come in contact with. So when I was at Longwood University as an undergrad, I had a wonderful advisor. And when I met with him to talk about what I wanted to do for my future, he told me about a special education program. And I didn't know a lot about special education at the time, but I did know that I enjoyed children. I enjoyed helping people. And so I felt like if I couldn't be a counselor, then let's check out teaching. But the funny part about that is I absolutely love teaching, Phil.
Yeah, well, I can tell you, I can you do both. I think you are a teacher and a counselor, and I just admire the way you interact with your students and the way you just care for people in general.
Thank, thank you.
I know for myself, I was 18, uh, just moved out of my family's home, and I almost wanted to quit. Like, I called the counselor at the high school, and I was like, "I want to drop out." I had a few conversations with you and got my, got my diploma. So,
Yes.
thank you for that.
Absolutely. I mean, I knew you could do it. I know that, especially in a classroom setting and when you're going through hard things in life, it's hard to keep pushing through because you're so engulfed in what you're going through at the time that you don't really think about the future as much as you probably should or could. But just knowing you and knowing you from being in the classroom, I knew that you had the drive. I knew that you had the determination, and I knew that you had what it took actually, and what it takes even now to be successful. And so I'm just glad that you continue to push through. I'm glad that I had just a small. I would not credit myself at all with what you've been able to accomplish, but just to have a small part in that, I'm so grateful.
Yeah, I'm grateful for you. Um, let's talk about us.
All right.
I um my home was an abusive home, and verbally, mentally, emotionally, all the above. And I knew I would come into your class, even though I didn't have you as a first period teacher. I came in there just to curl my hair and talk to you. Do you remember that?
I do. Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, and that's how we just had a special bond, I think. I feel like I have a bond with all of my students, but with you,
Mhm.
I don't know, I felt very close to you and bonded in that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
That,
Well,
that I
I
could be that
definitely.
safe place for you. Like if you felt comfortable enough to share and to
Mhm.
trust me with your life and with the things that you were struggling with at the time.
Yeah. And I remember you just saying, "Girl, there's nobody else like you. You just have to live it up." And I have chose to live it up. I look
I love
at
it.
every I look at every day as a challenge to overcome, like a mission. I have missions all the time, and that's how I approach life.
Absolutely. And you should. And look at how you've been able to succeed by having that mindset and that approach to life.
Yeah.
I
Talking
think if you
about
share that message with everyone, that everyone is going to be so much better off just understanding that you're right. You have a mission to fulfill and you can't give up on that mission. You just have to keep pushing.
yeah. Um I will go ahead and tell my friends, my audience that you were in my wedding,
Yes,
and that was a crazy
absolutely.
day. No, but it's memories I will cherish forever. The flower girl peeing
Same.
down the aisle. Do you remember my flower girl peeing down the aisle right
I
before?
forgot about that.
Yes, yes, it happened.
Oh my
That should have
goodness.
been a sign right there.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know
Mm,
what? In life is all about lessons, right?
mm,
So we
mm.
do what we feel that we are comfortable with and we do what we know at the time. And the only thing that we can do from, challenging experiences is just learn.
Yeah,
Learn how to do things differently, how to do things better. But, life is all about experiences, and I don't look at any experience, even if it doesn't work out the way you thought it was gonna work out. And you know what? You have the perfect title. You have to adapt.
I
You have to
know.
change and adjust to what you're offered or what you're dealt in life sometimes. We can't always see the future, but, when we when we have experiences, we can gather from them like what we can do and what we should do if we have similar situations happen in life, and we can share with others who may be going through similar things.
Mhm.
I met you at a time, and I don't know if you knew this or not, but and I can't really think about the timeline accurately, but I met you at a time when I think I had either just lost my mother or I lost my mother during the time that I was there when you were
Mm,
in my class.
mhm.
And it was a difficult time for me. So I think sometimes when, you're have someone who's going through difficulties and you're going through difficulties, you can kind of relate in that way. May not be the same thing happening, but when you have a time in your life when you're struggling or having a hard time, sometimes it helps to pour into others. Like you want to
Mhm.
give up, you may wanna say, "I quit. I don't wanna do this
Mhm.
anymore." But if you look at life as, you're there to try to pour into others what they may be lacking, then that gives you more of a purpose to continue on and to feel better about whatever struggles you may be experiencing.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Um, God really brings you the people that you need on the journey that you're going through. And
Absolutely.
I truly believe it, and I truly, I spoke about this many times, but support groups, you really need a good community around you just to uplift you, so I promote us getting into a support group.
I agree with that. Absolutely. Like I said, I mean,
Mm,
I thought about counseling. And funny thing is that when I took my undergraduate psychology courses, one of the things like in getting into my graduate degree with special education, a lot of the courses were the same. Like some of the things that I needed for the counseling degree, I was taking for the special education degree. And so
mhm,
before I got pregnant and got married, that was something that I thought I would do. Like I'd have the special education degree and the counseling degree, but things didn't work out that way. But,
yeah,
I am a huge supporter of support groups, counseling, whatever you think you're gonna need to get you through to the next level in life because sometimes you feel so down that, you can't make it technically or on your own, you just can't think about it. But if you have a support group around you, and that's not always going to be your family. If you do have a really supportive family, thank God, that's wonderful. But if you don't, then you need to find your people. You need to find people who are willing to help you, to aid you in whatever you're going through, to talk you through it, to help you through it. And you can
Yeah.
make it.
Do you think you would have this same teaching experience had you not gone special ed? That you just went straight teaching?
No, I don't. I think that with me choosing to specialize in special education, I've been able to have and to foster closer relationships with my students. Um, that being because I've been able to have smaller class sizes. I've been able to, as you even said, have sort of like a counseling relationship from time to time with students who have gone through difficult times. So I think that for me, it was the best fit because I was able to forge so much of a close knit, closer relationship with my students than I would if I was in a regular education classroom. Just because of the sheer numbers, because of the things that you need to accomplish within a day in such a short amount of time. So I am grateful for the avenue that I took and the way that it's allowed me over the years to be able to communicate and basically be a part of my students' lives and success.
Yeah. Um, I couldn't imagine teaching today. With all the you have to get this accomplished and you have to pass this test and you have to do this. So congratulations. I think you deserve way more than you've been paid. I think teachers in general should be paid higher than football players. Um,
Thanks.
so
Yeah.
I know without giving your age. How many 'cause I was about to give my age too. How many years have you been teaching?
Well, this is gonna be a giveaway because,
Okay.
I think I had you, probably I wanna say I have been teaching at that point for 3 years. So I think I had
Okay.
you in my 3rd year of teaching, so I was pretty young back then.
Mhm.
But I have been teaching now for 27 years. Can you believe
And
that?
raising I know, and raising a family. So
Yes.
congratulations. 2
Thank you.
amazing girls.
Thank
Um,
you.
what would you say to people who are considering going into special education?
Well, I would encourage them to do it because it is a very rewarding field. However, I would also admonish them to make sure that they understand what they're getting into. Um, as you said, like over the years, the education field in general has changed so much that for young people, particularly like you mentioned, pay and stuff like that, particularly when you're just getting started, it's going to be a struggle. The starting salaries are not great. Um, and for special education, you're completely inundated with paperwork. I can remember my first few years teaching and how I just didn't coming out of college, I didn't anticipate the amount of paperwork there would be, with writing IEPs, with going to meetings, with, just the everyday everything that you have to do in the classroom in general, plus the added paperwork with special education. And I'm not saying that to discourage, I'm just saying that as, these are the things you need to consider. But
Mhm.
with that being said, it is extremely rewarding, particularly in special education, because for me, I've noticed that I have students, including you, but several students that I've had, after I had you, call me or email me or talk to me, or ones that are local now because I'm in a different state than I started out in, come
Mhm.
visit, thank me. Right now, so when I was teaching you, you know, um, you were in a program for students who were diploma bound and had learning disabilities. Now I'm teaching students who are in a transition program who are non-diploma bound, but who will be gaining life skills and work-related skills. So my work now, I feel like, is so important because one of the things that we have to do is to train them on the job, work in the classroom, talking about life skills like managing money, budgeting, what it means
Mhm.
to be employable, how um, to get and maintain employment. And
Yeah.
so that has, to me, has been very rewarding because I saw a parent not too long ago at a community center, and she said, the job that you helped my son get, and this has been, I would say, about 8 years, maybe 10 years ago now, he still has that same job. So just hearing things
Amazing.
like that, I mean, it's just, you know, was what I continue to do my job for because it is extremely rewarding in that way.
Yeah, in 5th grade, I was just having a really hard time, like, with depression and just symptoms of my cerebral palsy. And my 5th grade teacher had me volunteer with the non-diploma bound students.
Hmm.
And that was an eye opener because just to know that, everybody has a purpose. You just have to find it, and everybody deserves that second chance or that deeper look.
Absolutely.